Hey guys, Bondo here. Today's video, I'm going to show you what I've been up to this summer and fall at my house. And I'm going to tie that into the lesson here is going to be, I got a high performance wall system that I'm building on. I did a lean-to on my shop. So I want to show you that high performance wall system. I actually had one of my subscribers call me today. We were on the phone for about an hour. I was trying to explain this wall system to him. I think he got it, but evidently there's a need for, people to know how we do this or how I do this. You got Rhoda running around in the background there. So I thought it'd be a cool video, actually, talking to him for an hour, trying to explain this. I'm like, you know what, let me get a video going on this, and this will help people out because a lot of people want to build their walls better, have better insulation. This guy's in New Jersey, so not quite as cold as it is here. It's like -4 here today, so I'm just going to show you this lean-to real quick, and then I'll get inside the building and show you the wall system. And I'm going to put some clips in here of us building this building all summer. I got a bunch of video footage on my phone that I want to clean up, so I'd like to include a bunch of those clips. Me and Big Biscuit laying some blocks on this thing. We poured a floor. Me and Chris Regan poured the floor, and my son Jason and a few other guys, we poured the floor. It's got radiant heat in it and everything. Pretty cool little structure for me. I got some new equipment I needed to put in, so I needed a little more space. So without further ado, I'm going to show you here. Stay tuned, guys. We'll get going on this video. Well guys, we got our footer poured, but my camera was out in the sun and it overheated, so I'm not sure how much video footage I got of it. I'm pretty warm today, but we used Carl the Kubota to fill her in because I got a septic tank, or not, I got a leach field that's kind of in the way of driving the truck down here. I really didn't want to drive it down here, but we got her in. It's a little bit of a pain, but there she is. The start to my lean-to is going to come off of there, angle out, so I can put all my little toys in there. And I got a lumber pile up by the tiny house there, and that's going to be lumber, rafters and stuff. It's all hemlock, local hemlock, so that's what we're going to build her out of. 2x6 walls, but I gotta go 8 courses of blocks here. In this corner over here, it's gonna need a lot of fill brought in. The whole inside will be filled in when we're done, but I dug it pretty wide, so I got room to work down in there, and I got room to tamp it as I bring it back up. We're just cleaning up. Big Biscuit's greasing the Yanmar. Roy's picking up, and we're gonna be out of here. It's beer 30. Well, we ain't out of here because I'm at home. This is my house, but it's about beer 30. Ro, what you doing, buddy? You gonna help us today?
He's gonna be mixing mud.
He's gonna mix the mud. That's what we're up to today. The boys got the footers forms all stripped. Now we're putting some gravel around the footer so that we're not working in the mud. That's what she looks like. Then we're gonna tamp the inside here, because that's what we're gonna do before we get any blocks in here, get that tamped. Roy's over here filling in this corner. Need a little scoop, Roy, maybe?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, I'll grab you one. Then we'll get the tamper in here. Rowan, you lazy bum. And I got a bunch of blocks on the trailer up there that we're gonna lay today. Stay tuned. Okay guys, we got our lines snapped on the footer. That's the first thing we're gonna do here, is get some lines on there. We took a string and we made sure we were straight with the back and front of the garage. So we run a string line until we pulled the string line in until it touched. We had a level over here going up, and then we established where our corner starts. Then we measured 60 feet over. Snapped our lines, did the same thing in the front. So now I'm going to start building this corner over here, right here. Roy's getting things set up, and that's what we're doing. And we're going to check it with the laser too. I want to measure this and see my height up to the top of the wood there, and that's what we're going to want to match. We're going to want to get our foundation right up even with the old one right there. So I'm gonna measure that and see exactly what we got, and check my footer, make sure it's level, and that's it. Stay with us. Okay guys, this is what I got done yesterday, me and the boys. We got the front wall up to 6 courses, back wall up to 6 courses, and then we started the front course here. So I'm going to, hey Roy, want to make a batch of mud for me so I can get started? And that's what we're doing. I got to get going on this front wall, get it laid in. I'd like to get the front wall in today, and then I can kind of leave it alone for a few days, let it cure, and then I can backfill it a little bit so I don't have to reach up so high, because this thing's 9 courses. So I don't know if I'm gonna go 9 or stay down 8, but this corner being the way it is needs a lot of fill brought in. So this foundation's 9 courses, just about a full basement. 11 or 12 would be a full basement, so kind of crazy, but that's what we're up against here. Stay tuned. guys, I'm going to show you a few tricks here. Big Biscuit's debut on laying blocks today. Trying to teach him how to lay blocks, so I'll show you a few things that'll help you. If you want to lay blocks, you can make a lot of money laying blocks. Like I told Big Biscuit, you can make a lot of money laying blocks because nobody's laying blocks anymore. So we're running down this wall right here, and I just spread my bed joint. That's what this mortar's called right here. And I'll show you how a couple different ways to do your head joints. These are head joints, putting the mud on the head joint. I'm going to hand the camera over to Roy. Here, Roy. Show them how it's done, eh? I already hit the head joint on this one. Lay it in there. Like to bump it down to the line. And you watch this side here. Take it off. If you feel a ledge, you can knock it down and over a little bit. Off that, and then fill in your head joints. Top of your head joints. So this is one way you can do your head joints. You can hit mortar on the left of your trowel like that. You're gonna hit the left side of the block. Oh, that didn't work. Try that again. Left side of the block, like that. This is advanced. Now I got the mud on the right side of my trowel because I'm gonna hit the right side of the block. So I hit it. I'll show you that again. Pat it down. Grab it like that, shake it. So you got that much mud. You want the tip of your trowel just to miss that corner, like that. That's how you do that. That's something you're gonna have to practice at, guys. Grab your block, push in your joint. I'm kind of looking below me. Keep that camera more like steady because it'll drive people crazy. So that's the advanced way to do it. My shoulder's messed up. I knocked it out of joint there a month ago. So I'm going to show you the way I've been doing it all day just to save my shoulder. I set the block down, left side of the trowel. I still do the left side of the trowel on both sides, but when you're doing the right, you got to spin your wrist. So as I'm turning, I'm going to spin the whole thing and hit it. The tip of my trowel is going to just miss there, like that. If you need a little more, you can just hit it on there. I like to take and do this on the tops. Actually, this is the top. I like to smooth out the top so it don't fall out. Grab your block. I like to reach inside of it a lot of times. Balance it and just set it like that. And you just, if your mud's nice and soft, you can just bump it down. So speaking of mud, this mud is pretty good. You should be able to shake your mud down. Grab it like that and go like that, and it should flatten out on your trowel. If it doesn't, it's too thick, too dry. That's nice and sticky, see? That's how you want your mud. You want it to stick to your trowel. If it don't, if you pick up your trowel and it falls off, it ain't sticky enough. Get it on there, shake it down. That's how you want to have on your trowel. I like to fill these head joints, the tops of them, as I go. Some guys don't do that, but I like to do that. Here's another move you can do if you want to, guys. You can put mud on the left of your trowel and go like this. Just kind of smear it on there like you're buttering a piece of bread. See, that's one way to do that. Then you can shake it down on the right of your trowel, reach over, hit it like that. Kind of light on the bottom there, so I'll just smear a little bit more. Like I said, though, them moves right there hurt my shoulder right now, so I'm not doing too many of them moves. I'm just doing it old school. I'd suggest when you first learn, you do it the way, setting the block down and buttering up the head joints on the ground when you're first learning. That's the way I got Big Biscuit doing it today with his debut, his block laying debut. Like I said, I like to set, there's a front and a back to, or there's a top and a bottom to a block. These lines right here in this rough side, that's the bottom of the block. This smoother, nicer spot with like this one has a handle on it right there. So you can grab it. That's the top of the block. Most generally you want to lay it that way. Left side. Left side again. Oop. Like that. Down. You're probably wondering why we're laying blocks instead of Nudura, because they're a lot cheaper right now. Nudura is going crazy with the prices, so we started laying blocks again. And this is my house, so I'm cheap. So I'm doing it out of blocks because these blocks are less than $2 a piece, these 8-inch blocks, so that's pretty cost effective. So now on to the bed joint, I call this. I like the mud on the left of my trowel. Take the tip of your trowel and just try to miss like that. You're trying to take that tip. Sometimes you'll hit it when you're just learning or you got a bad shoulder like me. You're gonna go boom and the mud's gonna fall off. So you want to shake it down. Get it flat like that. I like to go down the wall a little ways when you first start, and you don't have to do that. But I like to hit the bed joint pretty good. Down through there. Same thing, I want to put it on actually the left of my trowel. Still, the left on both sides of here. That mud's getting a little bit dry. We can work with it. Right now the mud's kind of dry, guys. See the difference? Kind of dry, so I'm gonna hit it with some water real quick. Hey, where's that water? A little bit. Give me that hose. We got this little hole here. Put a little water in it. Not a lot. It's pretty warm out today, so take this hose, just fluff it up a little bit, make it more sticky. That's much better. Don't be afraid to stop and fluff it up like that. You know? Nice, that is what you want. Bed joint again. Gonna grab these blocks, kind of set them top that way. Maybe set up a couple for myself. And the tops. I like to scrape the back of the wall. Some guys don't do that either. I'm cheap and I can save mortar. Scrape the wall. There we go, and throw it back in there. We can use it. Different move again. Oops, I missed the bottom. Over in the front. It's gonna fall off, just do that. I'll stick it on the top. Other move again. That's bread butter. Left side or right side. Just different ways to do it, guys. You'll feel what's comfortable to you as you get used to the moving your trowel. You want to keep your trowel very light in your hand too. You're not really squeezing it that hard. Now, hit the bread butter. Keeps it from falling off. If you don't do that, sometimes it'll right off there on you. What do you think, Roy?
Looks good.
Getting there, huh? Not bad with a bad wing. Got a bad wing on me, Roy. Look, Roy, we're gonna have to stop filming right now because... Hey guys, Bondo here. I'm over at my house working on my lean-to addition. I'm putting in this perimeter drain pipe. And you're probably wondering why I'm doing that. Because this all gets backfilled inside and out, but my thoughts are we get a lot of water coming off these roofs. It's going to be a lean-to roof under that roof, so a lot of water comes down. I want to have a pipe here. Well, I started it here. It's going to run all the way around this thing and go out to daylight over here. There's a big drop off there. That'll just take any bulk water out of this thing. So I did that on the garage when I built my garage years ago. You can kind of see, I'll show you that. So there is a pipe around the whole garage. There it is. When I did that before to get the bulk water out. Plus, the way my land lays here, there's a hill and a lot of water comes down this hill. So right here is going to be my doorway. And I want to catch the water as it runs down the hill. Hit this French drain right here because here's my door. So I don't want water running in my door, obviously. So I want to catch all that bulk water coming down this hill here and around and out to daylight, if that makes sense to you. And we got to fill this whole inside in and lifts and tamp it and all that fun stuff. But step one here, me and Roder today, just the two of us. It's a Saturday, right buddy? We're gonna get this done. Put this, I got a pile of stone over there. I got some gravel and I got a pile of number 2 stone right here, and I got 2 loads of gravel. So I'm gonna start putting the stone in, and I got Marify paper underneath it, which keeps the clay and stuff out of the pipe. And I'm gonna dump some stone in it, and then I'm gonna put the Marify over top of it and then backfill it. I'm gonna use that whole load of stone around the outside of here. And then the rest is gonna be bank run gravel inside and out. and brought up in lifts like I always talk about. Stay tuned, guys. Okay guys, here's the rest of the pipe job before I bury it. Everything's tied into the old drain. As you can see, the old garage pipe that came around, I tied everything in, put my new drain out. This is all perforated, guys, so water will collect, and then I'm going to run it down out this ditch. But from that point forward, I'm going to run solid pipe, SRD 35. It's green. I haven't got any right now. So this is all perforated. This is the sewer and drain. I don't know the brand name of it. Poly 3 wall. Perforated. That's what it is, guys. So when you install this pipe, you want to put the holes down. So when the writing's straight up in the air, that means the holes are down. So that's kind of how you figure it out. Some people install it thinking they want the holes up. Well, all the stone and stuff will fall down into the pipe and clog it up. So the water will actually, pressure will push up in through the holes on the bottom, and it'll collect the water and it'll run right out. So, hey, Rotor, you gonna help me for once, buddy? No? All right, guys, just showing you what I'm doing here. We got 8 courses here on this building lean-to that we're doing. We're filling it in, and now you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 showing all the way around. What I do here is I put the gravel in every 8 inches, every block, and I rake it out. I use that mortar joint as a guide. Rake it right out, and then I'm going to tamp it. Kind of just like when we're building retaining walls. We're going to tamp all this. I'm going to tamp it 2 or 3 times, and then I'm going to go ahead and dump some more in and bring it up 8 more inches and tamp it. That's the way you got to do this, guys. It'll settle underneath your floor. We've taken out a lot of floors that weren't done right. They were done probably 10-15 years ago, and we take them out and there's a big pocket. I got some videos that show the big pockets underneath it. Same thing with pools. People always want to pour their concrete on a pool right after they backfill it. They don't do it like this. So very important here. You can see what I'm doing. There's my doorway. My overhead door is going to be there, so I got to fill this all in up to there. So I'm going to do one lift at a time, one 8-inch concrete block lift at a time. Now I got my tamper right there. Rotor's not going to help because he's lazy today, huh, buddy? It's too hot, huh? Hey, pal? You going to help, Dad? No? Not going to help me? Nope. He's just going to chill. All right. Let's get the tamper going, Ro. Get this tamped out. Okay, guys, I'm over here on my house working today. It's a Saturday. I just wanted to show you a little detail. We're doing some radiant heat in this lean-to that I'm putting on my shop. And I am putting some foam board down there, 2 feet. I'm breaking these sheets in half. And I'm just gluing it with construction adhesive. I got this PL Premium right here. It says it's good for foam board. It says right there. Wait, not right there. Yeah, right there. Works on Anyway, yeah, it works on foam board right there. Last thing, foam board. So that's what I'm using. PO Premium. It's made by Loctite. Just sticking it on here. 3 times stronger, it says. I'm putting a bead on there, 3 beads along this here, really heavy bead on the top. Putting some C-clamps on it and just waiting for the glue to dry. It kind of holds the foam down. And then I'm backfilling it because this floor is going to be up. We're bringing this floor up to this floor here. And then it's probably going to taper down to, there's rotor, down to like the top of this block, which will be a pretty good pitch. But the back will be flat. I'm going to store wood back here, firewood, because my wood boiler's right inside that door. So this is just something I wanted to show you. One way to keep the heat in your building when you're building like got a concrete block stem wall or a poured, say you got a concrete poured wall and you want to put radiant heat. That's a good idea to go right down 2 feet with this foam as you go, and it's going to hold the heat really good. So we'll also put foam underneath it, but this is just going to keep the heat from migrating down and out. So stay tuned. There's my new toy right there. SLV 65-2 high flow. We've been playing around with that today. Put all this 3" minus material in here. That's what we're up to. Hey guys, Bondo here. I'm working on my house. I'm putting a lean-to on this garage right here. And I got the foundation, the block work and everything in. I want to show you how I'm doing the radiant heat insulation. Basically, instead of putting the insulation on top of the dirt, I'm kind of putting the insulation down and then putting dirt on top of it. Back there, I probably got 5 inches of dirt on top of this foam. Up in here, I probably got 3 or 4 inches on it. There's a reason I'm doing that, a couple reasons. This floor is going to taper from this door. It's going to go up at an angle, and it's going to come to where rower is. You can see how this concrete is up here. Hey, Bubber. This is my floor that I got to meet here. So I want to meet this floor up here. This is 60 foot long, and then I want to taper down to that doorway and have, it's going to be probably a 4-inch pitch or so, 4 to 5 inch pitch in like 35 feet. So it's going to be much easier to work this gravel at an angle than to try to get that foam to run at an angle. And plus, I want to use this extra dirt on top of this foam as thermal mass, because I'm putting radiant heat in this. So when my heating system initially heats up, it's going to heat all this dirt as well as the concrete. So I'm going to have like 4.5, 5 inches of concrete in there. It's going to heat up. I'm going to have 5 inches of this 1" minus dirt in there, and that is just going to work really well to, it's just going to be a big heat sink, which is going to hold all that heat for longer, and my radiant system will work better. This is the material we're using right here. I got a pile of it. It's just 1" minus. There's nothing in there bigger than 1 inch. It's basically screened gravel, so it's got a lot of fines in it. It packs really well. I'll show you another foam detail on this addition I'm building here. So I got an 8-inch block here. I got 1.5 inches of foam board here. I put my 1.5 inch sill plate on, and I had some metal bent up at a 90 here, and it goes down over this foam, protects this foam. Hey, Bubber, what you doing, kid? Bubs, you good boy, Annie. You a good boy. So that's that, and then the metal bends down over here, and my floor is going to be over the metal up into here, and that metal's long enough so I can get my taper up. By the time you get back here, it's going to be buried. The metal won't show as much. There'll be probably 5-6 inches of metal showing. It covers that sill plate, and it also covers that foam, protects that foam. And that foam goes down 2 feet, guys. That's 2 foot deep, so any heat trying to escape out like that is not going to make it. So I just wanted to show you that detail. Thanks for watching. Told you.
We'd lay the block just like.
Here comes the mud guys at my house.
We'd lay the block before it cured.
Ain't every day we get to come to my house and pour concrete. We got Sean coming in. Hey Roy, back him in, will you? You're busy. Get unbusy. Come on, Roy.
And to pay that kind of money and then have to. Where's he going?
Where do you think he's going? We're going over to Matt's house, buddy. Just keep him on the driveway and back him right over. We got the big conveyor today, guys. Circle T coming in to help us out today. 315-963-2231. Oh, you did absolutely nothing to help him back in. All right. That's good. Go around? Go around what? No. I sent the wrong guy to help you back up, I think. Roy. She's drying kind of slow, guys, because the sun, you can see the sun line right there. So that right there is like going nicely. And then this is not. All this, you can see the line all the way down through. It's gonna go real slow for us. Chris is running down the edge there. But it is soft still. What time is it, Jay?
12:30.
It's like 12:30. We poured it at
1 o'clock.
we poured it at 10. It's 1 o'clock. We poured it at 10. So
1?
yeah.
1:05.
So he's leaving that real fuzzy. You see that fuzz on it? He keeps his trowel pretty flat, his mag. Leaves a lot of cream on top. And he's closing that edge along there, making it nice up against the building. That's what he's doing. Things are rolling along. I'll grab some lunch here pretty soon after he's done with that. Wait on it. So this is what we got right now, guys. You can see the sun line right here. So now this whole section is pretty much done, burned. Chris is shining that out, but you get over here and it's nowhere near ready. It's all shade, except for this. You can kind of see the way the shade line is on the house. You got a line here. So this whole thing's gonna go. It's kind of tough because you're pulling cream onto what's already finished super hard. That makes it real difficult to get a nice finish on it. So he's just trying to burn that edge in. And that's the kind of challenges you get sometimes. Different jobs. There's a shade line right there. See it? So like, you can finish like right here and then you're gonna get back into the slop again. So weird. Finish is so weird when it's like that. And you can literally see it. It's boom, then the eave here, and then right down through. And that's from the eaves of my house. Makes it difficult, but we'll get her. Stay tuned, we'll get her done. You can see the shade line's a lot different right now. It's right here and out. Still creates a funky spot on the floor. But she's starting to shine out anyways. Probably on the last hit here, guys. Just about beer 30 on a Saturday. I'll video it when it's done. It's like almost 5 o'clock, guys. We're getting close here. It's starting to look pretty good. I think the blades are about shot on the power crawl though. She's scratching up a little bit. Looking nice. Okay guys, I just sealed the floor. Sun went down, so I threw some sealer on there, and that's what she looks like. Come out really nice and shiny. Take you down to the end here. Of course, it'll, after it dries, it won't look so shiny, but we just put the sealer on there, sprayed it on. There's where my radiant heat comes out. I will hook that to my wood boiler in the shop. And I'm gonna cut this bad boy tomorrow, but figured if I could get it sealed, any water or dew that drips off the eave tonight won't mess it up, because that sealer will penetrate that slab and do what it's supposed to do. I'll try to get a shot of it after I cut it tomorrow. Roy's up there cutting them battens off of there like that, so we can get our ledger board up in there. That's what we're doing right now. I got him on the forks of Carl the Kubota here. He's using a oscillating saw to cut them. He's smoking a little bit. It's kind of dull. And we're going to be able to put our rim joist on there for the rafters. Okay guys, here is the structure. This is my house and shop. That's my shop there. You've probably seen it if you follow the channel. Probably seen us working on the house a bunch, but doing the roof and stuff. I got the standing seam roof and stuff. But my house is all wood siding, just board and batten siding. It's all rough cut hemlock. But this is my lean-to, guys, that I built this summer. Like I said, I got some new equipment. I got a restored truck. I'll show you that. I got a skid steer that I bought, so needed a little more space. So the cheapest, easiest way for me to gain some space was to put this lean-to on. So this lean-to is 16 foot out from the building this way, and it's 60 feet this way. It's the depth of my my shop, which is 60. My shop is 30 by 60, and this lean-to is 16 by 60. So gained me a bunch of space. This wall here, this block wall goes down like 9 courses down below the frost line and stuff. There was a big hill here that we had to fill in. There was a big tree here that we cut down to build this thing. So this is all built out of rough cut lumber that I got from a local Amish sawmill. Yeah, this is 2x10 rafters, 2x6 walls. I got a purlin on there. I'm going to show you from the inside because that's where I consider this a high performance wall system. So I'm going to show you from the inside. I got a super insulated door on that. This thing's all going to be heated. That's why I built such a good wall system. We're going to do standing seam on the roof, but right now it's just ice and water guard up there just to dry it in for the winter because it kind of ran out of time. I also had a shoulder injury. I had it in the spring actually, so I had to have some people help me frame this thing. So let's go inside and I'll show you what's going on the inside, guys. All right, guys, so this is the inside of my shop. You've probably seen it before. There's the dump truck I'm working on right there. There's my snowmobile. So this side door here used to just go out to the side lawn of by my garage, by my shop here. There's my wood boiler. But now when you open this up, I'm gonna hit the button. This goes into my lean-to. So the reason I wanted this like this, a lot of the reason is for my firewood. So right here I got my firewood. I used to keep it in these crates right here, which I did put a few of these crates in here just to kind of hold the wood from being against that wall because I want to insulate that wall. But there's those wood crates I was using. So now I can just stack my wood in here, and there's my wood boiler. Got this cart here. I burn about one of those carts a day. Right, Ro? Right, Bubba? So there's my old truck. That's a 1970 Ford truck, F100, that we've been working on. I had a guy, my buddy, paint it for me. He did a really nice job. It's all dirty right now from dust, but that's a really nice truck. Still working on it. I got to put some rims and stuff on it, but that's actually the year I was born, 1970, so that's pretty cool. Have the year you were born truck. But this is the lean-to, guys. I'm gonna flip the lights on. Maybe it'll look a little better in here. Yeah, I'll be able to see a little better. So this is a lot of space for me. I got my other snowmobile in here. I got my four-wheeler in here. Right now I got some stone wool insulation. Roxel, but it's not Roxel brand. I guess it's temp control it's called. So it's actually for 16-inch on center. It's 6-inch bat. So this is stone wool. Like I said, normally it's called Roxel, but this is just a different brand. I got this from the guy that I deal with, a local lumber yard, and he saved me some money on this stuff, so a little cheaper than Roxel. But this is my wall system here, guys. So, and the roof is just rafters, just goes up to rafters. And I got joist hangers here. And that plate right there that's bolted to the building, I basically bolted that right through the rim joist of the shop right here. So there's carriage bolts. And you can kind of see them right there. See them carriage bolts right there? Right there. Well, every other rafter, I got a carriage bolt going straight through there with a big washer and a nut on it. And then I got a joist hanger. And these are on 16-inch centers, and these are 2x10s. So this is gonna have Roxel up in it. I'm gonna use 8-inch Roxel on that. And that's gonna be my ceiling. But this is the wall system I wanna show you. Basically a rough cut 2x6 with a 2x4, rough cut 2x4. And then you've seen the hemlock siding. So the hemlock siding's nailed over that. So what this does here, I'm gonna put Roxel in here. This section's gonna have Roxel in it. And the reason that's more of a high performance wall is because this foam board here, say I was to put, I didn't have this foam board in here, you'd have some thermal bridging right here through this stud all the way to the outside if you put like just plywood on here and didn't have the purlin with the foam board. So right now all we have thermal bridging is just right here where this 4-inch area is where you got some thermal bridging, but that's very minimal compared to the entire stud going down through there, if that makes sense to you. So this foam board is 2 inches of foam. So with this 2 inches of foam with the Roxel on it, I got Tyvek on the outside of it. That's a pretty good wall system, especially for this lean-to. This is, you know, I'm not gonna keep this super warm in here, but it does have 2 inches of polystyrene under the floor, and it's got tubing in it. And the tubing's actually in this corner, and I'm just gonna run it through the wall into the wood boiler. I'll probably keep it like 40 in here, just for, you know, so it's, if I wanna work out here, I can just raise the temperature basically. I bought the best door you could get. That door right there is 2 inches thick, injected foam, steel on both sides. Spent a lot of money on it, but I wanna keep this insulated pretty well, so that's what I wanted to show you there. I'll include some clips, like I said, on this build so you can see how we did it. I'm gonna add some clips to that. And also I'm gonna put some Roxel in here, or stone wool. I keep calling it Roxel, but it's really not Roxel. So stay tuned, we'll throw some Roxel up. I'll show you a little bit about that. I'll show you some clips on how we built this, and this will help you if you're gonna build a building, a shop or something, and you want a super insulated wall system. I think this is a good one. Right, Ro? Right, Bub? It's cold in here though. All right, guys, so like I said, it's -4 out right now. It's 64 in the shop, and I've just left that door open for probably 5 minutes to the pneumonia hole out there. I'm gonna light up the wood boiler. It's got some cardboard and stuff in here. There she goes. I'm gonna show you what this thing looks like in about 5 minutes. Does not take long. It's got a couple chunks of wood in there and some cardboard and a little bit of paper. I'll close that down and I'll wait like 5 minutes and show you what that looks like. But I'm gonna get after this Roxel. I'm just gonna call it Roxel, guys, because that's what I'm used to calling it. But it's stone wool insulation, whatever brand you wanna use. Right, Ro? You gonna help me, Bubber? No. You ain't gonna help me, are you? No way, you ain't helping. I'm gonna start over here because there's no wiring or nothing. That plug right there is the last plug. I didn't put any wiring in this section because that's my wood shed, so I don't need any wiring. I'm just gonna start stuffing bats in these walls, and it's a friction fit with this stone wool insulation. You don't have to staple it or nothing. That's why I like it. I'm a big fan of blown cellulose, dense pack cellulose, but it's a lot more work, and it might be a little cheaper. I don't know, but you got to have the insulation blower and all that, and I really don't want to deal with it in this cold weather. So I figured the Roxel is going to work pretty good for me for this. It's a good insulation. It's much better than fiberglass. Please don't use fiberglass in this wall assembly. If you're going to build a wall like this, use the poly iso foam, either 1.5 or 2 inches, depending on what you use for purlins. If you're using standard 2x4s, you'd use 1.5 poly iso. And if you use 2-inch rough cut, go with 2 inches poly iso. And that's the foil face stuff. There's foil on the other side of that. But that's more of an open cell insulation, but it doesn't get wet in this wall assembly. So, and then you use cellulose dense packed in the wall, or use Roxel. Do not use fiberglass for this. It will not perform nowhere near as good. So let's get to the Roxel stone wool. Okay, as long as it took me to do that last little clip, that's how good she's ripping. My pump's on. That little zone controller, that red light shows that my pump's on. There's my pump. That just pumps into the tubing that goes into the floor. And there's the boiler. I've showed you guys this boiler before, but I like this boiler. Keeps us warm in this frigid environment of New York. Okay guys, first thing I'm gonna do is just vacuum out these stud bays, get any of these leaves and stuff out of here. Doesn't seem to be any cobwebs or anything, so I think just the bottom. Just gonna use the shop vac here. So these packs of insulation come super like smushed down, guys, so they're like, they don't take up as much space. So plug into these. It's like a tie-dye material in here. Check that out. Isn't that cool? They grow. See that thing's expanding? So they're even packed into these packs pretty tight. So they take up a lot less space for shipping the way they pack them up. What is this called? Temp Control Mineral Wool Insulation Bats. R23, 2x6, 16 on center. There's 5 bats in the pack, according to what I'm reading here. This is made by John Mansfield. I'm opening these up. They do expand some more even. See how it expands even more when you open it up. So them packs are dense packed, super, in the packaging, so they don't take up as much space, like I said. All you really gotta do, guys, is just push this in there. It's a friction fit. You wanna wear a breather mask, some kind of dust mask or whatever. But this stuff just pushes in there. You don't need to staple it. There's no paper, nothing to deal with. And that's that. That's how you put it in there. Stuff it in. These being 2x6 rough cuts, it's a little bit narrower than a regular stud base, so it fits a little, it smushes up a little bit here, and it's not quite as deep as the 6-inch stud because it's made for 5.5-inch lumber by 1.5-inch lumber, so it's actually a little bit narrower and a little bit deeper, but you get the idea. It'll work fine for that. I'm gonna cut a piece through here, whatever I got left. It's looking like I'm gonna just about be able to cut these in half and use the other half up there, I'm hoping. So I didn't measure those bats. They look like they're 4 feet, but I'll measure them up and see what I got left and stick my pieces in. It's just that simple, guys. Okay guys, so my piece I need is 31 inches, so these bats are 4 feet long, so you can use like just a serrated knife. This is just a cheap dollar store kitchen knife, but anything with a serrated knife would even work even better, like a bread knife. But you can cut this stuff just like this. I'll show you. I just put a piece of hemlock down on the floor so I don't cut through it. I'm at my 31-inch piece here. Just that simple. This knife's not the greatest. I might look for a better knife, but it cuts pretty good. So now I got this 31-inch piece, and I got this piece here. It's probably 17 inches. It should be. Yeah, 16.5. So that piece will be my starter for my next row. So there's gonna be no waste at all. I'm gonna take this piece and throw it in there. Okay guys, moving along here, I want to show you something. I got an outlet here. I'm gonna put a piece of insulation in there. There's also a wire. So you wanna get the insulation around that wire, and you also wanna get it, you don't wanna pack it around that light there, or that receptacle box. So I marked out, I just set the piece of insulation up there and I marked out where the outlet box is. So you wanna cut, I already cut these, but cut down through there like that, and then just kind of guesstimate what your outlet box is. I'm gonna cut that piece out of there. There, got that out of there. Got my little chunk. I'm gonna take this scrap insulation here that I got. I'm just gonna stuff it behind this outlet box here, like so. So I did that. And now I am going to put the insulation in there. I'm gonna split it around this wire, because that piece is only about that long. But you can either make a slice in the back of the insulation and put it around the wire like this, but I'm actually gonna split it down the middle, because the way this piece lands, like I said, this piece is about this long, so I can just split it this way and put it around that wire. So you don't just want to push it up against the wire, in other words. Take the insulation and kind of figure where my wire is. Gonna do that with it. Get it in here. Put that behind the wire, like that. Tuck it in there. Got the wires in there. And kind of like that. There you go, guys. That is how you go around the wire, or a box. This next sheet, I'll just take and slice a slice in the wire where the wire goes, measure up where the wire goes, and make a slice this way. Put the insulation right around the wire until I get down to my next box. I'll just keep making slices so that you don't want to, like I said, you just don't want to push the insulation against the wire. It'll move the wire and the insulation won't work properly if you do it like that. All right, guys, I got some a piece of Roxel insulation that was left over from working on a project or whatever, but I want to kind of compare it to this John Mansfield mineral wool insulation in case you're gonna buy some. So this is the Roxel, and this is the John Mansfield kind. So if you ask me, the Roxel is much denser than this. Mansfield is very smushy. Maybe it seems to have more air in it, or this is just super spongy, super thick. This has, I just opened the pack of that, so it really hasn't expanded to its full capacity yet, but it seems to me like it's thinner. Five and a half. It's about the same thickness. Just definitely, this product seems to be denser. Look at how this is kind of flattened on the end here. Very fluffy. This is very tight. See how it springs back? This kind of stays smushed. You pull that and it goes right back. I don't know, just a comparison. I figured it'd be interesting to show you that. I guess if cost wasn't a factor, I think I would definitely go with the Roxel or the John Mansfield. And this is the Roxel package. I should say rock wool, not Roxel, rock wool. And this is the kind you get at the box store. Same, says it's the same R value, R23. They both say R23 on them. You can get this at, like I said, box store, Lowe's or Home Depot. You can get this at. I had a local lumber store order this here in temp control. They're both mineral wool. They both say R23 2x6 construction, 16-inch on center. But I think, like I said, if cost wasn't a factor for me, I would get the Roxel. I think it's definitely denser. I think there's more product in there. If you were to weigh this, I don't know, they're both pretty heavy. Just a comparison for you. Either one's gonna work really good, I'd say. So if if you can get this stuff cheaper, you know, I think it's gonna work. They're both gonna work really good in this wall system. This is where I'm at right now, guys. I've been at it a couple hours just by myself. It's freezing cold out here in this lean-to right now. It's probably about 0. It was negative like 8 last night, so obviously we're wide open to the outside here. So, and there's no insulation in the ceiling, so real cold here. No heat in here either. So that's where we're at. Okay, guys, after handling this piece of Roxel that I had left over, like I said, I think it's a lot denser product than the John Mansfield. I'm going to try to demonstrate that. It's hard to tell you or show you, but this stuff is very dense. I think there's many more layers to this than there is this. So when they process it, it's packed a lot tighter. So I think there's more product in it. It is definitely thicker when you set it up against it. This is more fluffy. It's got more air in it. So just to show you, I'm going to drop this stapler on there. See how it bounces? Doesn't even leave an imprint. Just bounces right off of it. I pick it up. Didn't even flatten it at all. Now watch here. That thing sinks right in. Look at it. Take it out. Look at the impression it left. You can see the impression. I'll do it again. It sinks right in. Leaves a dent. Here. Get up. No dent. Very, very springy. Or this is just really soft to push on. Just wanted to show you that. Again, little comparison. I don't know why this is so much darker than that, but that's a lot darker, the product is. But to me, that's a lot better. That's a lot denser. I got a good deal on this, but like I said, if cost wasn't a factor, I would get the Roxel for sure, the rock wool. I would go with that for sure. Just trying to help you out if you're buying this stuff and the price isn't a big factor. Go with that. That stuff is super dense. When you push it into the cavity, it holds its shape better. It doesn't you don't have to pull it around as much. It really holds its shape better because it's so dense. It just pushes right in there, where this kind of flattens out in the corners and stuff when you push it in there. It kind of smushes in, so you got to kind of fluff it back out. Or that stuff's definitely, to me, that's easier to work with too, the Roxel. So moving along. Well, guys, thanks for watching the video. If you made it through that whole video, I appreciate you watching it. Here's my wall. I worked on it for about 3 hours. It's freezing cold out here, like I said. But this is, like I said, a real high-performance wall. This whole structure is a very high-performance structure. You could build any type of building this way, and it would be super insulated. It would perform really well with the foam details I showed you in the foundation, the radiant heat, and everything that goes into a building like this. This would make a great shop for at any scale. You could build these walls 12 feet high, whatever you need it to be, and this would heat very well, and this will heat very well because this is how my shop here is built. It's the same way. And it heats very well. That wood boiler heats my whole house and shop. So if you like the video, guys, make sure you leave me a comment. Hit the subscribe button if you would. If you're not a subscriber, definitely leave me a comment. That helps the channel. Channel's doing real well. So we'll catch you on the next one, guys. Thanks again.